hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another amazing episode of the CEO Show. This is the first Tuesday of this amazing month of August, and today we have an amazing guest, an amazing show, and amazing episode prepared for you. This is a show that always comes to you every Tuesday from 7:30 to 9. A show that always looks forward to bring you frontliners and business leaders in different industries. Talk about inspiration, talk about insights and education in different topics in business. This is a show that you are in a position always to learn something new. Remember, learning is a continuous process. I'm your host, Dan. Tonight we have one amazing guest who a lot of you have been looking forward to hear from her. Talk about ladies in business and ladies in the tech world. Our guest tonight is none other but the CEO and the founder of EldoHub, who is Magdaline Chepkemoi. Tonight, she's going to share her stories to where she is currently, and definitely the journey that has made her to be where she is. You cannot miss to talk about crossing the boundaries, daring different countries. Not only Kenya, but it's an inspiring story. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this show. Tonight, welcome our guest, the CEO, EldoHub, Magdaline Chepkemoi. Welcome to the CEO Show. How do you feel?
Thank you. I'm super excited to share more and also maybe learn more, especially from you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You are an holder of state commendation, that is right?
Yeah, HSC, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about when and who and why.
Yeah, thank you for asking me that. But I was given the Aid of State Commendation for the work that we do at EldoHub and the impact that I've made within the innovation ecosystem in Kenya. So if you, apart from being the CEO, I have been also a leader of all innovation hubs across the country. I was the chairperson. And I've also represented women in Women Entrepreneurship Day, which is a day which is recognized by the UN to celebrate women entrepreneurs. And based on all the work that we've done, especially working with innovators across the country, I was recognized and I was nominated by Konza Technopolis to be awarded the Aid of State Commendation. This was based on a project that we did back in 2020 during the COVID, when everyone was struggling, you know, our innovators could no longer come to our space. They could no longer do much. the way they used to be aggressive, you know. These young people were always vibrant and wanted to be innovative and leverage on technology in different aspects. So what happened is, you know, during that time we were like, you know, even though we are having this challenge of COVID, you know, what positivity can we bring through this time? So we came up with an innovation challenge called the Create COVID-19 Innovation Challenge, which we mobilized all innovation hubs across the country, and we brought together different innovators from different areas across the country, from Mount Kenya, from Kisii, from Kisumu, across the country. And we ended up with 300 innovators. We narrowed down the number to 40, the best 40. They submitted some videos, pitching their ideas, you know, explaining how they have very good plans of how they are going to scale. And eventually we selected 15 innovators. 15 innovators, we helped them, mentored them through an acceleration process. And we, of course, partnering with the government, partnering with the UK Kenya Tech Hub, British High Commission, US Embassy, UNDP, among others, we were able to help them. And, you know, these businesses, 15 of them, 15 young people, some of them were flying drones, one of them did sanitizers and coming up with solution in food system, dignified work, as well as also health system. You know, during that time we had 3 focus areas. And we were so surprised how young people can really build business out of nothing and be able to even make a revenue or turnover of 2 million every month. And this was during COVID time. So we ended up being recognized by Estonian president when she visited, they visited Kenya, and also so many others. And, you know, the guys who are flying drone were able to partner with the government, among other things. So it was really based on those success stories that we've had and the impact that I had impacted in the country, working with young people, you know, being a founder, starting an organization from scratch, and being able to build it, for lack of a better word, bottom up. And, you know, being a company that has been recognized nationally and internationally. It was based on this success story that I was given the Head of State commendation. So it's really based on the work that we do, and that's why the President, His Excellency William Ruto, was able to recognize our effort.
Okay.
Yeah.
Congratulations. I think that is starting on a very high note. I hate to ask that question. But ladies and gentlemen, we're coming to you tonight on Facebook, YouTube, and also on TikTok. Please, if you have a question for our guest tonight, please ensure that you ask on the comment section. And also, if you have any other recommendation, please don't hesitate to comment. And also, remember to share this episode for somebody to know that you're watching, and also for us to know that you're part of this amazing conversation. Now, getting back to our guest, after we've just gotten a small part of your success, but who is Magdaline? Where has she grown? Your education background, and who are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am a village girl. I want to really consider myself as a village girl. I grew up in the rural village, just like any other young person. After high school, I was in a school that my friend, you know, most of my friends went to Boy Girls Alliance and everything. And I'm like, you know, they usually ask, you know, which high school is this that you went to? So I went to Koyua High School. Okay. I hope the Koyua High School guys are listening, so that, you know, I want people to get inspired that it doesn't matter where you come from. So and the first time that I saw a computer was actually in high school. At that time, it was the big computer, like the TV, the old-fashioned TVs. Okay. Yeah, but anyway, so I grew up in the rural village, went to high school. After high school, I got a B+, and I did very well. And, you know, I remember after graduating from high school, my parents were like, no, my parents, especially my dad, really wanted me to do medicine, but my other relatives were really pressurizing me. You know, you have to be a teacher, you have to be a nurse. You know, once you graduate, you are going to easily get a job. And then also when you get married, you know, it becomes a bit easier when you are a nurse. I don't know where this misconception came in, but that's exactly what I was told. But I was like, I was good in maths. I was a maths champion when I was in high school. I had participated in so many competitions on maths, and I used to emerge as the winner, or if I go far, I could be the second one. And that is, you know, if you remember, that's Kericho, Bomet, and, you know, the districts that we had before. But, you know, so I'm like, you know, I'm good in maths. You know, I have to go for what I wanted. And I really wanted to do computer science because I fell in love with computers when I first interacted with it. So that's when I had a bit of fights with my relatives, like, you know, oh no, but I ended up anyway doing computer science, going for what I want. I went to Kabarak University. I did computer science.
Let me
Yes.
interrupt you
Yes.
a little. You just came into contact with computer in high school.
Yes.
And now you develop some affection and also some
Yes.
some love for computer.
Yes.
That inspired also you to do computer science.
Absolutely.
But
yeah.
now, what was it exciting about computers in high school?
I think it was something new because I just interacted with it. It wasn't really like I was learning computer science or computer studies. Like I say, our high school was really in the village. So, yeah. So, you know, I started developing interest and doing a lot of research and reading. I really love reading. From when I was in class 5, I really love reading a lot. So I started developing interest, reading about computers and all that. And I think that's where the interest for computer science developed. And I think for those people who know me, when I want something, I go for it, and I don't stop at it. I just have to find a way of excelling in it. I think that's why I really developed a lot of interest, and I went for it. Yeah. So and that's how I ended up at Kabarak University, and I did computer science, you know, and eventually got a first class honors. And the reason why I'm saying this is because some even of my relatives didn't know that I was pursuing computer science. Yeah, so I did computer science, and I went for my master's. I worked in the industry for some time. I used to work for Telkom. While I was working for Telkom, I remember I had learned some Huawei system, and I ended up being part of a project which was big, supervising the installation of all Huawei systems across the country. So, and from there, I was also studying at Strathmore University, doing my master's. And that's where the interest for entrepreneurship developed.
Okay.
Yeah, that's now I started, you know, because we were at iLab Africa, and that iLab Africa, where I did my master's, was supported by Safaricom. So at that time it was called Safaricom Academy. I don't know if it's still called Safaricom Academy, but that's where I really got to interact with different organizations. It was more like an acceleration program, or rather incubating young minds, bright minds, because even the process was very, very tedious for selecting the people who joined that Safaricom Academy. So I interacted with all the big tech companies. I interacted with Google. I interacted with IBM, Ericsson, and all the big tech companies. That's when I really developed an interest in terms of, how can I go back at home? How can I create opportunities for young people? Because everyone, once you graduate, you want to go to Nairobi and, to look for greener pastures. And just like any other young person. Okay. But you can imagine, I was lucky to just go to Nairobi, look for opportunities. And every time when I was in Nairobi, I could go to EldoHub, I could go to iLab Africa. When there is events, I could go to IBM. I even did a course at IBM Africa. And my supervisor, by the way, for my master's was working at Google. She's called Dr. Shiko Gitao. Okay. And, that kind of mentorship really enabled me to be what I am today, because now it gave me the exposure. And gave me the exposure and be what and I was like, what? The young people, you can imagine the young people. If, where I grew up in my rural, almost the only girl who went to the university at that time, okay. And I saw so many young people struggling. So I was like, can I create opportunities for young people who are in rural and maybe very urban centers? Because all the opportunities, all the innovation hubs, all the things that I'm currently doing were focused in Nairobi. They were all concentrated in Nairobi. And there was no much opportunities for young people. I was like, I have to do something to impact young people, to create opportunities for them. And that's when I started developing interest of coming back to Eldoret and setting up EldoHub and creating opportunities for young people.
Okay.
And
let me cut you short, because before we go into EldoHub.
Yes.
Now, assuming, taking you back to what you just mentioned, that there were a lot of infights for you to do nursing, for you to do teaching and what have you.
Yeah.
But now that is a challenge that a lot of young people go through, because they tend to be pushed to do something that they are not willing to do.
Yeah.
And especially that we are looking forward for even students joining campuses in a few months.
Yeah.
Now, if the force of you being pushed
to
nursing could have prevailed, do you think you could be the same person?
I don't think I had interest in nursing. And I remember there was a time we had, my grandmother was sick. And I was the most affected when I was young. And my dad was like, hey, and we are pushing this girl just to do nursing. And so I don't think I would have excelled there, because I'm not, I don't think I can excel in nursing. Nursing is not my thing. In fact,
just to speak directly to a parent that is watching you tonight, she's seriously pushing the daughter or the son to do something, because he or she was a policeman or a policewoman, or he was in banking. They want the daughter or the son to do the same. What can you say to this parent?
I think for the parents, the most important thing is to identify what the child wants and build that child to be what they want. If a child is an athlete, don't force them to get A and A minus. That is a person already who can excel in athletics. The most important thing is to take them to a place where they can get mentorship, probably attend and interact with the others who can be able to help them to excel in athletics. If someone is a footballer, for example, we've seen how talent pays. Talent pays, and this is something that a child cannot struggle with. If someone loves computers, and even computers nowadays is about everything, just support that child to be what they have to be. You, of course, provide them with guidance, but then make sure that you are enabling that child to grow to be what they were born, or they came into this world to be. Because everyone has, one person could be a pastor, the other person could be a church, a leader, an entrepreneur. Not all of us would be entrepreneurs. And I really appreciate the CBC system. It might not be perfect, but it is really enabling our young people to grow in terms of identifying themselves when they are very young. I remember I have a story about my daughter. She wanted to do fashion design. When she was young, she was around 4 or 5 years, she used to get some material, try to fix things, and she just wanted to be a fashion designer. And I was super excited about, I will support her to become a fashion designer. But when she went to school, and I don't know who told her that fashion design is becoming a tailor. I know you are very, I know that's, yes, because you are in fashion design. And look at you are excelling in fashion design, for example. So you can imagine the mindset that we have, and she was discouraged from there, because you're like, I don't want to be a tailor. You see, and that's the mindset that most parents subconsciously tell their children that, that's tailoring. I want you to be an engineer. I want you to be a doctor. I want to be, no. But why, if you could build that person to grow beyond, expectation? I think the best thing is for parents to enable these young people. Let's just enable them. Let's support them. Let's mentor them. Let's guide them. And also, I really, I think I was lucky, because even my parents subconsciously enabled me to fight for myself based on how I grew up. So I always like, no, if anything, even now, I think for those people who have interacted with, if I don't, I wouldn't lie to you. I'll just tell you, no, this one doesn't work with me, and you know, this is how I want it done. So it's always about, you know, I'm always very categorical of what I want, and I always go for what I want. So I would really wish most of the parents could enable their children. Yeah.
Thank you. Now going back now to EldoHub, coming from Nairobi and now having this vibrancy, you want to give back to the society in a way.
Yes.
Because seeing what is happening in Nairobi, and suggestively, it's like Eldoret, nothing like that was happening.
Absolutely.
Now you're coming to Eldoret, thinking of now bringing this business idea. Talk about now the inception of EldoHub.
Yeah.
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 How did it start?
So we started in 2016. Like I said, I've given you a background of how I was at Strathmore University. So based on the Strathmore, the mentors that I had, Dr. Shiko Gitau, Dr. Sevilla was my academic supervisor. I had interacted with all these tech companies, you know. I had a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm, and a lot of vision to actually use the talent that I have and the exposure, as well as also all the skills that I've acquired to build something, I didn't know. And at that time, I resigned from work. I resigned and, you know, just like, you know what, I'm going to start EldoHub. And I started building the website. I started talking to that, you know, this is what I want to do. And this, I want to create opportunities for young people. At some point when I started, it wasn't really clear what I wanted to do. So what I did, came to Eldoret, you know, interacted with so many academia, interacted with several business people, young people, you know, those were the people that I really serve. And we started, I started in 2016, and at that time we even didn't have an office. And I was really moving from working with different universities, went to Moi University, Chepkemoi, University of Eldoret, Catholic University, and at that time I got some teaching opportunity at Catholic. You know, I had my master's, so I also, that gave me an opportunity to interact with as many young people as possible. And that's how we started building EldoHub. And EldoHub really was just to create opportunities for young people, and not just opportunities, just the technology. At that time, technology was really growing. You know, Safaricom was here. The mobile penetration was at 70%. And then there was Android mobile application. That also everyone was starting to own a smartphone. So it was really a very huge opportunity for us. It was a huge opportunity which kept growing. It has really grown. And then 2020, there is the acceleration of digital innovations with COVID-19. Like we moved directly to the fourth industrial revolution and all that. So that's how we, I ended up starting EldoHub, and started operation in 2017, and then started having our first 1, 2, 3 employees. It's been a journey, and we started now designing, you know, what do we want to do at EldoHub, and we ended up coming up with the 4 pillars that we work within EldoHub, one of them being skills development, where we train on the latest tools and technologies, and through our EldoHub Academy, and also mostly the soft skills, you know, those skills that are not necessarily tech, but are needed to grow one's career. So that's how we started building our EldoHub Academy, and started training young people, and started formalizing and making sure that, you know, EldoHub Academy is really recognized, and we are able to enable young people to be able to grow. So we started with the software engineering, full stack web development. Secondly, we started with the Android mobile application, as well as data science. And now we have we have a lot of programs that we run, including cybersecurity and networking. We are also introducing cloud computing, just teaching young people on how they can leverage on technology. And and then now we started also realizing in 2020 that, after we train young people, after we work with these young people, after we empower them, after we build their capacity, what next? Even everyone is training and, everyone is providing them opportunities. How do we transition these young people, whether they have trained from anywhere, whether they have self-taught, whether they have gone to LinkedIn and, learned a course or self-taught themselves, and they're able to show that they're expert and they're able to deliver in different projects. So that's where we started our job creation pillar, where now we create job opportunities for the young people. We have a platform which is called Sasa Kazi, and we started during COVID. During COVID, we went to businesses and asked businesses, what kind of support do you want? And most of the business just wanted to continue running their businesses despite the challenge that was going on. So we asked them, what kind of opportunities, or what can technology really help you to grow? And they gave us a whole lot of lists. We got several requests from businesses. We took 40. Some of them wanted to build digital marketing strategies. Some of them wanted to build e-commerce platforms. Some of them wanted to build a chatbot, from soft to hard tech. And we took the 40 projects. We went to the young people that we know had the capacity to deliver on this project, and we took 40 young people. By the end of the program, because we wanted to pilot it for 3 months, by the end of it, 36 of them got employed, most of them being employed by this organization. That's when we realized that even if a young person is just have training, they can actually deliver. They can actually, it doesn't matter. People talk about, we need people who are experienced 3 to 4 years, if a Gen Z now who has graduated, where do they get these opportunities? Okay. So we created a model that enabled these young people actually to get experiential learning. And while they get experiential learning, there is that win-win where the businesses benefit from digitization and the young people benefit from experiential learning. And that's why we are running our second pillar, which is the job creation. And we have a platform called Sasa Kazi. So if you've trained and you have the skills, now you can be able to get linkages to opportunities, and there is a shortcut way that we support you to get opportunities. And so I know there is a lot of conversation about getting international jobs and all this, kuchukua our young people abroad or something like that, but also there are opportunities for our young people here. And also our businesses and our companies also need our talent to stay here so that we can build those organizations. Once we build, they're able to create jobs for us. So as much as we want to get all these opportunities, we also still want to build opportunities for ourselves. And now, for those ones who don't want to get employed, we have the business coaching and mentorship, where we train you on how to start and grow business by leveraging on technology. So all the things that we do here is more tech focused, because that's our focus. We are more focused on technology. And we've worked with several young people. We've worked with businesses across the country. We've worked with the We Do project, where we were giving a small grant through a project which is run by GIZ. And we ended up supporting 420 young people across the country, including Port Victoria. Port Victoria, Mombasa, Lamu, they are all across the country. And lastly, our last pillar is the digital transformation, which is aligned with our job creation pillar, where we also want to support businesses to digitize, because we feel that if we support them to digitize, they are able to create job opportunities. And that's basically what we do at EldoHub. We've worked with several organizations as well. We've worked with different partners, both locally and internationally. And there is a lot of potential. Kenya has a huge population of young people. And, we have to do something. The maandamano, we have to, it has shown that unemployment is really very dangerous. It's very dangerous. And we have to all be part of it. You can be comfortable building a business, yet young people are unemployed. They will come and, you know, we've seen them stealing from businesses. So unless we come up with a solution to sort out the unemployment rate in this country, then it's going to affect all of us. And that's why we need to create so many pathways for young people to get opportunities, and especially within the tech industry. Because, you know, there is a lot of, you know, there's a lot of change, there's a lot of disruption which is brought about by technology. And that's how even the academic system is going to be disrupted. And that's why I really appreciate the TVET system, because now it's creating more hands-on experience and also building young people to have more skills, because it's, you know, no one cares about the papers that you have anymore, but you know what you can deliver. And that's what we speak and about at EldoHub. And that's why we work in over 40 counties across the country. We currently have a project in Turkana and Garissa, where we're supporting refugees to access decent digital jobs through the support of International Labour Organization. So those are some of the things that really our organization is focused on. And we want to grow it beyond this. We want to grow it beyond 100 years. Yeah.
Now, talking about, you've given a good preview of what you do and also into details of what you've achieved so far. Now, on the inception and starting the business and where you are currently, I want to understand the idea. Is it the moment you started and now where you are, is it the same thing?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Yeah, even if you look at our website, if you, not really our website, if you follow our social media, you will realize there's a lot of change, including even the branding. Because when we started, even the logo was not the logo that we are using today. And I think entrepreneurship is really a journey. It's like, it's a journey, and there are some steps that, in my personal opinion, lazima upitie. It's true. Lazima upitie. You know, it's like raising a child. You can't raise a child ati anamuka tu alafu anakuwa. It's like a kid. You know, when you are building a business. And that's why when we see, you know, it's really, for us, it's really, when running a business, it's really personal. It's personal. It's like you are protecting this organization that you build with all your might, because you know how it feels. You've walked through the journey. So when we started, like I said, we didn't even have an office, and we were just running programs, moving from one university to another. We got an office, we started hiring employees, we started even knowing exactly what we want, and even, you know, understanding what we want, you know, starting to build that culture, you know, starting to transfer the vision that I have to other people to start also pushing for that vision becomes, it's really been a journey. And I would really encourage people that, you know, you just start. Just start. But also, you know, business starts very small. Like I didn't start with, I didn't have any money anyway. So starting with money was not an option. So it was starting really with the small that I have. So my take is that you start small and you fail very fast. Because there's some few things that when I started, and the model that we have now is totally different. Because I realized that some of the things do not work, and I need to do away with them and start focusing on the thing. Some of them were not sustainable. You know, you can't run a business that is not sustainable. If no one is ready to pay you, then I don't think you are in business. So those are some of the things that I've grown through the experience. I've iterated a lot, and as an entrepreneur, you have to have a change mindset. And that's why you remember the Nokia guy crying and saying, you know, we did nothing wrong. But, you know, the world keeps changing. In the next 3 years, things would have changed. Maybe people would no longer need, you know, that's why digital transformation as well as innovation is one of the key things that it has to be an agenda of every organization. Otherwise, you might end up closing your business. There's a lot of disruption. So we need to think really ahead. And I think that's what has really grown us. We really always, you know, what can we do, you know, what is it, a model that works for us, and, you know, is it sustainable? That's one of the things. And, you know, being able, even myself as a founder, there's someone who told me that you need to avoid having a founder syndrome. You know, founder syndrome is you want to really protect this thing. You know, you don't want even people, you know, it's like it's
You're
without you, you can.
selfish about
Yes, a company, if you want to build a high impact organization, then it needs to go beyond you. You know, as you grow, when it was young, I could easily do everything. As employees comes in more, you know, it becomes more clearer. As the board comes in, you know, you no longer have to make the decision. You have to have people also guiding you in every stage of the business, because there's in the first stage of a business is when you even don't know what you want. And then now that you go to the second stage where you know what you want, and the skills that is needed in every stage is totally different. So the growth stage or development stage is when now you have to think that, you know, this is what I want to focus on, and this is what I'm going to grow. And there's some things that you drop because it doesn't work. And then now you go scaling, and growth is totally different. It needs totally different skills. And that's why we need to avoid this individual kind of mindset where you just want to run your business as you. Otherwise, you wouldn't grow. We wouldn't grow beyond. You know, we can't be Equity. You know, Equity, the way it started from uko chini, and then they started scaling nationally. And, you know, look where Equity is. It's almost across the Africa. When you go to Rwanda, you'll still find Equity. And I feel like entrepreneurs need to think more bigger. And we need to think about growing high-impact companies more than those companies where you just keep it to yourself. And yes.
Okay, now a question that I'm tempted to ask.
Yeah.
You are a woman and you have a passion for women, especially in terms of motivating women and also pushing them to talk about transformation and also digitally.
Yeah.
You being a woman and choosing to venture into this, I believe there are a lot of bottlenecks and also discouragement that comes handy. And now that you mentioned that you had less in terms of financial support and also capital.
Yeah.
Do you think it is something that affects the current woman, the fear of starting and also daring to do what you just achieved?
Yeah, I think I feel like we are now alive to the fact that women, the world has changed. There's a lot of progress that have been made, and you know, the barriers that our mothers used to have is kind of, you know, starting to get a bit easy. But definitely the numbers still show that, you know, as you know, maybe when I'm in Eldoret, I have more opportunities. I don't fear starting, but, you know, it depends. The women now in Turkana, for example, the women in the rural areas, for example, they have more, still have a lot of challenges in terms of, you know, there is still patriarchal, it's still a patriarchal society in some of the areas within. So I'm very passionate, let me just talk about, I'm very passionate again about supporting my fellow women and ensuring that, you know, I can mentor as many women as possible to grow also their business, which I've really done in so many ways in terms of encouraging women to also venture into business and to start. And one thing that I always say is that women are better entrepreneurs. Women are better, they are better entrepreneurs. They are keen to detail. There are so many areas that women excel, and and entrepreneurship is one of them. And data have shown that. Even sometimes women are left with the only thing is just to run a business. Yeah. And, you know, sometimes, you know, if you are left at home, the reason why the women are starting business sometimes vary. There's those women who just want to start business because they want to feed their children. And they just want their children to go to school. They just want their children to sleep. And they are forced into entrepreneurship. So there has to be a way in which we turn those women who've been forced by circumstance to be entrepreneurs to now start thinking about, not really entrepreneur, let me just call them business, to start kuacha the mama mboga mindset. You know, mama mboga mindset is that, you know, you're just doing this business because you want your kids to have food. You just want to survive or something like that. Now, can we change them into more entrepreneurs with more sustainable business model? How can we build and support them with really business model that can help them to grow beyond. I think that's one of the things that when I say I want to really work with the rural as well as the peri-urban center women, because I know that, you know, the experience that they've experienced has given them very good. They just need the push to grow beyond and build even high impact companies. And it's really possible. How can we build capacity of some of these women? And I would really encourage women to start, just look for help. There's a lot of support that women get, you know, in terms of even financing. You know, there's some programs that exist that specifically targets women, that women can leverage on. They just need guidance in terms of how to go for those opportunities. And also I encourage women to just go for these opportunities. These opportunities, there's so many opportunities that exist that they can leverage on. And, you know, just have a business, you know, just there's something called product market fit. If they have a product market fit that can scale and can grow into something else, I think it needs to be supported. And maybe this is also where the government comes in. Government, the county government needs to come in and really create an enabling. That's their role. You know, the role of the government is just to create an enabling environment. They need to create an enabling environment for women in terms of providing financing, providing the capacity, linking them to opportunities, and all that. I think that needs to really be done. But I'm very passionate. It's something that I am very passionate. I've worked in helping women to digitize their business processes. We've run a whole cohort for women, supporting women to digitize their business processes. And we had 35 women in Kenya and 30 women in Cape Verde, West Africa, which we were running with an organization in Cape Verde, and we were supported by AfriLabs just to see. That was again during COVID time. And it also shows that, you know, the power of collaboration, the power of technology, you know, being able to exchange knowledge with a country that is not even English speaking, and they're able to work together. And Google came in and supported more women. So we have several initiatives that are specifically geared to women, because we believe that, you know, we need to support more women. We need to support women to come into technology. We need to support more women and girls to stay in the STEM careers, science, technology, engineering, and maths. Based on my background where, you know, because I'm a girl, people expected me maybe to do nursing and, you know, but there's a lot, you know, technology. You can imagine if, like you do designs, if the design is only done by men, they will give you one aspect of how things needs to be done. If the company is run only by, you know, it gives, you know, but then if we need to also be the designers to design what we want. And that brings in a whole different meaning of even the growth of the business. Even statistics have shown that organization which has more inclusive, whether you include PWD, you include more women, is growing better than other organizations without that inclusion, because we bring in different aspects of thoughts and different aspects of how the market works. Because, you know, if you are to create a product, it has to work for that market. So that's how important it is to really have women on board and to support more women entrepreneurs.
Okay, nice. I think you've gotten a serious background of what you do, and also just to see on the current or the modern business. Have we embraced technology in our businesses, and do you think we are really ready to go that direction? And if yes, then how far are we?
Yeah, I think there's a lot that needs to be done. But I think so many businesses are starting to realize that it is really important to embrace technology in terms of even market access. You can imagine when you have a business, you have, you know, like I can give you an example of a lady that we supported, and she used to go to the market, get viondo, and she used to get at 1,500, and then she sells at, you know, I don't know, 2,000, I don't know, but she eventually had leverage on technology and started getting orders in Nigeria, the US, and she ended up selling the kiondo that she gets at 1,500 at $500, because this is a different market. So you can see the power of technology. Technology can get you to new markets. Technology, first of all, it's, you know, Facebook, for example, it's almost cheap. It's almost, you know, unless you want to sponsor your page. But, you know, Facebook is a very good model, as a very good platform for you to market your products. If you build an e-commerce platform, it means you access a huge number of people. Yes, that if you were just a standalone business, or if you would just go like the way we used to go to the market and wait for a known customer to come from wherever to come and buy our products. But nowadays, we know where our customer is. We know, you know, because of data analytics, you know, you analyze the data that, you know, these are, you know, you can even select a section of people that you want to see, them to see your product. So it's really very important for businesses to leverage on technology and to start building processes and leveraging on different tools. There are so many tools, from finance tools, the QuickBooks, and I think the online, I like the online QuickBooks and others, Zoho. I've seen so many platforms, you know, there's Slack for staff communication, there is Zoom for conferencing. It means you can run a business, you can run a meeting with, you can have meetings with anyone in Germany, in Canada, in anywhere, and cut deals through technology. So I think if you have not incorporated technology in your business, you are missing out, unless you just want to be a local business who do not want to grow beyond. But then technology offers a huge market that we need to leverage on. And also it gives us also opportunities. I don't know if you heard of ESG. ESG, you know, most markets again want they want people who are compliant to their policies. Like if you remember the Chebochok issue of Toror, which has affected the tea markets, for example. And, you know, technology has provided all these opportunities. We can learn what different markets want. If you want to export, you know, there are so many avenues, so many content, so much that you can learn online in terms of that. And I think businesses really need to embrace technology.
Okay, thank you. Before we take a very short break, just to think about Facebook that you just mentioned, there is a new agreement between Meta and the government of Kenya, and the proceeds that are about to come through. And people are so excited about them and about it. And also talking about selling and putting your product outside there. I think that's something that we need to discuss into as we come back after this short break, and also talk about putting your product outside there. A lot of people have a challenge because having a product is different from putting a product outside there. And that's something that a lot of people have a problem about. So I think we'll be getting into that in a few. Ladies and gentlemen, the conversation is getting heated, and also it's quite informational from our guest tonight, Miss Magdaline Chepkemoi, who is the CEO and founder of EldoHub. She has given us a number of insights. I believe tonight you must be having a pen and a paper for you to benefit a lot. Remember, we are coming to you live on Facebook and also YouTube, not forgetting TikTok. Please, if you have a question to our guest tonight, don't forget to ask on the comment section, and also share this episode. We'll be back shortly after this break.
My name is Chepkemoi Magdaline. I'm the founder and the CEO at EldoHub. EldoHub is an organization based here in Eldoret, but we've worked in over 40 counties across the country. And we support young people, that is youth, as well as also women, to start and grow businesses by leveraging on technology. But also we want a large number of unemployed young people to benefit from the opportunities the digital economy offers. We have different pathways. We have 4 pathways that we work with. One of them is skills development. We have cybersecurity, software development, we have data science, among other opportunities that will help you to grow within the ICT industry. there are great opportunities for tech talent. We've seen the tech professionals earning or rather enjoying good salary, and they can work from anywhere across the world. And that's why part of our mandate is to help you also link to job, and that speaks to our second pillar, which is the job creation. You know, after we train you and we've given you these skills, we are able to link you up to job opportunities for experiential learning, like for example, internship, apprenticeship program, among other opportunities that will help you build your portfolio and be able to grow in the tech industry. Our third pathway, or rather pillar, is the business coaching and mentorship. For those ones who are do not want to get employed, they want to self-employ themselves or become entrepreneurs, we also have something for you through our business coaching and mentorship, where we train you on how to start and grow business by leveraging on technology. Fourth and last pillar is the digital transformation, which also speaks to our second pillar of job creation, where we support businesses to digitize their processes. Because we want our trained young people to get experiential learning while also supporting businesses to digitize.
CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan.
We are able to link you up to job opportunities for experiential learning, like for example, internship, apprenticeship program, among other opportunities that will help you build your portfolio and be able to grow in the tech industry. Our third pathway, or rather pillar, is the business coaching and mentorship. For those ones who are do not want to get employed, they want to self-employ themselves or become entrepreneurs, we also have something for you through our business coaching and mentorship, where we train you on how to start and grow business by leveraging on technology. Fourth and last pillar is the digital transformation, which also speaks to our second pillar of job creation, where we support businesses to digitize their processes. Because we want our trained young people to get experiential learning while also supporting businesses to digitize.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the CEO Show. And the conversation is getting heated. Our guest tonight is Miss Magdaline Chepkemoi, who is the CEO and the founder of EldoHub. Remember to drop your questions so that we'll be in a position to answer in the course of this bulletin. Magdaline, we're speaking about now product presentation, and also you've talked about Sasa Kazi as one of your products or under EldoHub. And talk about Sasa Kazi, it's about positioning the young person to the market. The challenge that the young people, and especially young entrepreneurs, and talk about MSMEs have is presenting and also putting their product outside there. What do you think is the challenge of setting your product and also marketing your product that we currently face as we also leverage with technology?
Yeah. So I think the most important thing is to ensure that you have a product market fit. I had talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
You know, if you have a product that someone feel that, you know, this is something they need, it provide convenience, or maybe it's remove some of the pain that they have, then definitely you always have clients. And when people, you know, that's number one way of putting your product out there, to find a problem that is worth solving and ensuring that, you know, there are people who are ready to pay for you. So there are three things which are very, very important. Your product needs to be desirable. That means someone is really ready to pay for it, for you to solve their problem. It has to be accessible, and you need to have you need to have a product that solves someone. It either solves a problem, or maybe it's like for entertainment. It's either a Piriton, or it's a painkiller. It's either a painkiller, or it is a, what do you call this medicine that you take to add to boost. Yeah. So so it's either that. So if you have the right product, something that's really people want, that is the best way to have your product out there. Second, of course, you need to have a large enough market, a big market that is accessible. So a large enough market, you know, a large enough market, you look at in different ways. It depends also on how you want to grow as an entrepreneur. If you just want to be a mama mboga kind of mindset as an entrepreneur, then maybe you're just looking for 100,000 opportunity in every month. So maybe you have to sell a product of 100 shillings to 1,000 people, and you definitely will make 100,000. But if you have to sell to become a 1 billion Kenya shilling opportunity, then you have to look for a huge number of, you have to have a big number accessible, a large market that you can even sell to 1 million people, a product, maybe a product of 1 million to 1 million people, or it depends on how you want to grow, whether you want to grow as a high impact. But definitely getting good numbers is one way of putting your product out there, of one way of kind of selling your product out there. So the one way of making, you know, the increasing feasibility of your product. And also you need definitely you need to continue selling your product, leverage on different technologies, marketing, making sure that you are having different channels to reach your target market and all that. So that's one of the things for entrepreneurs, especially MSMEs. For you need to have a great product, which is number one thing that you need to focus on. And definitely you need to have accessible, a huge or a large market that is accessible, that you can be able to access. And definitely you have to do legal business. That's also one of the key things. So just talking about and going back to the products that what we do at EldoHub, of course, talking about Sasa Kazi, but I want to really focus on EldoHub Academy. So please, if you have a child, you know, could be a Form 4 leaver, or could be anyone that you want to scale. They want to, a high school leaver, maybe it's someone who has cleared university, they just want to get hands-on skills, you know, those skills, employability skills, skills that, you know, you won't struggle to get something. And you know, tech careers, tech professionals, they enjoy salaries, higher salaries. If you look at to the tune of people even get over 1 million Kenya shillings every month just being in the tech industry, depending on. So people really enjoy. I've seen even in Europe, developers getting off, I don't know, over £60,000 or something. And that's really, that's a very huge opportunity for our young people to actually venture into. And one of the things is just to get the right skills. You don't need to write the right skill. To be a developer, you know, in this tech world, it's not like marketing where you can argue your case. This is about, you have to be an expert in what you are doing. You have to help people solve problems. You have to fix things, you know. Yeah, and you know, that means you have to have the right skills. And skilling is very important. Getting the right skills is very important. So you have to always upskill, and technology keeps changing. Next, we now have artificial intelligence, and you know, everyone now is online. Cybersecurity issue is here, and all that. You know, people are looking for cybersecurity experts. People are looking for front-end developers, back-end developers. People are looking for digital marketers, graphic designers, everyone from small business to even well-established business. Even in Kenya, if you look at, people are fighting for talent. You know, the Safaricom and the other big tech companies, they are fighting for the experienced talent, the senior talent, for example. So there is really a huge opportunity as a tech person. So that's why we invite you to come to EldoHub Academy. Come and take a skill, learn and get mentorship. Because even starting from here, I did computer science. I've worked in the industry for some time. So that gives you that confidence that, you know, what we are doing really gives you the right skills and the right knowledge and the right mentorship. And even most of our program, we have mentors in the industry. We've worked with mentors who are working for Huawei. We've worked with mentors who are working in Safaricom, working in GSMA. We have over 68 mentors from the industry. That helps us to help the young people that we train to on the soft skills, you know, the skills that are not tech, you know. There is communication skill, problem solving, and you know, as tech people, even personally, I struggled when I cleared school on how to communicate, because we tend to be a bit laid back and we just want to fix things. So that's why EldoHub Academy is a place for everyone to be. Just come and learn software engineering, come and learn full stack web development, come and learn cybersecurity. If you want to venture into cybersecurity, everyone is struggling. People are being hacked left, center, and right. Companies are looking for ethical hackers just to come and check some of the loopholes in their organization. People are looking for data scientists, data analysts, and you know, you need to get that skills in data science and also artificial intelligence. And just so please, you need to skill, and you need to get the right skill and to get the right platform and the right organization to help you in terms of skilling you. So, and that's why EldoHub Academy is one of them. Just join us. We are very much accredited as an organization. So we are able to provide you the right curriculum. We are able to provide you project-based. Ours is project-based. So we take you through a project, and once you complete that project, now we certify you that, you know, you've satisfied some of the, you know, we can build your portfolio. And we also have post academy support. So the post-academy support include career support, making sure that you are prepared to attend your first interview, putting you in a community of people that you can share. People can help you review your code if you are coding and all that. So it's a whole community. And apart from that, the Sasakazi that we've talked about. So we also link you up to maybe professional digital apprenticeship, which helps you to get that experiential learning, and also link you. We've even linked this a young boy who came in and currently works at Lunchbox, which is a US company. He hands over 200,000 Kenya shillings. And that's, you know, from just being joining us, you know, joining our Sasakazi. And we have a vetting process, and we don't just take you. We have to make sure that you are able to deliver for the employers. Yes, so we take you through the vetting process. If we feel like, you need to go and learn 1, 2, 3. And we have also some common courses like leadership skills that we train you on, and even the mentorship. So it's a very good opportunity. Join the EldoHub Academy. Just go to academy.eldohub.co.ke.
Now,
Yeah.
that is amazing. But now, looking at you and also talking about all what you do,
Yeah.
From where you started to where you are, you're one person that you don't take opportunities slide.
Yeah.
And growing to where you are, it means that you've taken advantage of each and every opportunity.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
any other entrepreneur will always find a challenge to tap into opportunities. What is it that you look into as you grow this company? What is it that sparks you to make you find that this is an opportunity that I need to venture into?
Yeah.
That a lot of young men and women
Yeah.
fail to see in business.
Yeah.
Talking to you now as an entrepreneur, what
Sure.
are some of the things that you consider in tapping into these opportunities to make your business grow?
Yeah. I think I had already shared a bit, identifying the right problem and having the right product. I'll call it the holy grail, and having the right, product market fit and being able to segment your customers.
Okay.
Make sure that, you have, these are the customers that I'm focusing on.
Okay.
If you look at most organizations, they are really, it's not being about everything, but it is that focus that enables you to really grow.
Okay.
So for me, it is having a product market fit, having the right problem that you are solving for people, and having an accessible market. So, are people ready to pay for you to solve those problems? That's the main thing that makes you grow as an entrepreneur. And one very important thing is you yourself. Like me, I'm the vision bearer for EldoHub. So as a vision bearer, you need to have, it's personal for me. It's personal. I've given you the story of how I grew up. So it means a lot. In fact, for me, it's more than a passion. It's obsession. Yeah. So, and I think, when you have that, even whatever happens, you still have that thing that keeps pushing you as an entrepreneur to achieve your goal.
Okay.
So that's one of the most important things. It has to be personal. It has to really be personal. You have to be, in fact, when people go pitching for their ideas, many a times investors don't invest in the idea, because they know ideas, we can fix it, but they invest in a person. Is this person, do you have the capacity? Do you have the capacity to run EldoHub or an organization? Do you know there is the vision of EldoHub? Are you the right person? We've seen founders and CEOs being kicked out of the company because the investors or board maybe don't feel like this person is the right person to take this organization to the next level. Okay. Yeah, so that's why I'm saying it's really very personal. Okay. And we need, this is a CEO show, as a CEO we need to build our capacity to grow this organization, to go even beyond, in terms of, always skill. Even us, we need to keep skilling ourselves. We need to learn all aspects of it. Like I said, there are different stages of growth in an organization. And you need, as a leader, to have those skills that will enable you to push the organization to the next level. So for me, personal is one of the key things. Okay,
thank you. Just to take you back, you've talked about also the pitching of ideas, and that is one of the things that you do, mentorship, and also connecting these young people to grants and also to investors to some extent. And sometimes you find that you've mentioned that some people will just be kicked out of their own organization, which is something that happened also at Mark at some point.
Yes.
But what is it that makes you think somebody is ready to pitch an idea, and what is it that makes an idea be lucrative for an investor? And because sometimes there is issues with grants, and also there is investors coming in to equity, getting shares of the company.
Yeah, sure.
How can one prepare and make this idea very lucrative for an investor to buy?
Yeah. I think there's no cheating in business. It's all about more numbers And it's about the product. Do you have a product? Like I said, it just narrows down to the problem. You know, do you have the right problem that you're solving that is worth solving? And there are so many aspects of you to look at that. First of all, is do you have you know, to get to know that you have the right problem is you look at do you have a large enough market for you to build a business out of that. How many people are wako na hiyo shida, do they have that problem? And that you can be, and you know, are you the right person to solve that problem? You know, is it accessible? And also people need also to learn to think about hard problems. You know, so many easy problems in the world have already been solved. So think beyond, be innovative, think about ways in which we can do things differently. How can we leverage on technology? How can we automate? You know, I've seen someone even automating a posho mill. You know, posho mill ile unaenda unapiga. Now so you can just press and then you get your unga. You know, and someone has done a very brilliant job in terms of innovating around those areas. So there are so many huge opportunities, and there's so many huge opportunities just building the capacity of these young people. So preparing for a pitch is understanding that problem and making sure that, you know, understanding the problem of having a product market fit. And initially when we used to, Kitambo, when businesses used to be built, we were focusing on a business plan. So you're going to fundraise, you're taking to the bank, and all that. And we saw several businesses fail. But nowadays you focus on the product. Do you have a product market fit? Are people pay? Can people pay for you to solve their problem? So, you know, if you have someone who can be able to pay, then it means you have a business. If someone is not paying you, maybe you can try being a charity or what. But business is all about that. And that's what investors look at. Do you have a product market fit? What is your projection, financial projections? And you need also, one of the things you need to understand is the financial model. Do you have a good revenue, a business model? Do you have a market? You know, you need to have a sizable market. You know, what is the opportunity? You know, investors look at it in terms of the numbers. What is the opportunity? And even look at you, like I say, it has to be personal. So when you are pitching, you have to show that, you know, you are the right person to actually run that business. You know, it means a lot to you. I can't start running, like you say, nursing. I can start opening an hospital, for example. It's not my passion. I don't think I'll excel there. But you know, even if I pitch to you, you won't believe me. But when I talk about technology, this is something that it really means a lot to me. And that's also what the investors look. You know, are you the right person to be able to run this business? Because people are looking for return on their investment. If they are putting in money, they need to get the return on investment. And there is one thing that we also need to, you know, when we talk about pitching, investors, grants and all that, we always talk about external money that comes outside maybe the country or maybe comes from other quarters. But we rarely talk about our own investors. I think also business, we need also to start investing in ourselves. People who've gone, the athletes, for example, could use that money to invest in some of the startups. And they could really invest in businesses that will grow beyond. Yes, instead of building houses and building, you know, rental houses, which everyone is doing it anyway, there are so many empty houses. We could actually invest in some of the ideas by young people, and in a win-win kind of situation. But it has to be guided. You know, why can't we build an investor forum? Why can't we build a database of people? Why can't we encourage more of our local investors? Because, you know, our country cannot only be built by other people. When other people come to Kenya, they always talk about their interests. But also, you know, we need to build our MSMEs. We need to build our businesses. If you look at other, because I happened to participate in the Mandela Washington Fellowship in 2018, and I went to the US and I attended some pitching programs like Startup Grind Pitch in Chicago. And they picked the ideas, and I was like, hey, we really have, back at home, we really have very nice ideas that if people start putting in money, some of them were given a lot of money. And, you know, they are ready to invest in startups. And startup is an experiment. Sometimes it can work, sometimes it doesn't have to work. So, and I've seen countries give money to their startup. Even when you fail, you learn something out of it. And that's where we need to build. Not really, maybe we might not grow in terms of startup, because that startup model is also not our model. We need to look at a model that works for us. Yes, a model that works for this country. Yes. Rather than something that we pick from Silicon Valley and we just want to know, our context is totally different. Probably SMEs will grow our organization, our country more, and we need to start building the SMEs. Yes, I think that's businesses and all that. So that's a whole discussion that we need to have, and we need to think local. And as much as we can borrow some of the ideas, we can borrow from Estonia, and I usually say Estonia has 1.3 million people, and they serve the entire market for Africa. So, we need also to start thinking about how do we position maybe Kenya to serve the entire market. In East Africa, for example, have 300 million people. That is a huge market. And we need to start supporting SME to start thinking beyond, to start thinking, build their capacity, to start thinking about, even crossing borders, getting different opportunities that exist. And me personally, I feel like we need to start at home. And we need to leverage the talent, like myself, that other people that I know, that can easily support startups and start building these networks that can support some of these SMEs.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Too much information for tonight, and also that's why I was telling you, our viewer, that you need to have a notebook and a pen to get this credible and very important information. Magdalene, we have issues because a lot of people fear to go the technological way because of fear of exposure, and even talk about now data privacy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think there is a research that was done by CA and a report that was given out that Kenya suffered close to 360 or 460 million attacks, that is cyber attacks, making Kenya number 3 in Africa after Nigeria and Africa.
Yeah.
Are we safe with our data? Because it reminds me of Gen Z when they're saying tumtembele, tumsalimie. And the contacts were all over. How safe are we with technology with our data?
I want to say maybe we are vulnerable. I don't want to be radical and say we are not safe, but let me just use a better word. All of us, we are vulnerable. So if you want to be safe, nunua mulika mwizi, hata mulika mwizi, the mulot boys will call you and lie to you until you give your PIN, and they can easily swap. So maybe if you want to be safe, just switch off your phone. Don't just go offline. That's the only way you can guarantee your safety. Yeah, but definitely as long as you have access to internet, there are so many bad people and good people at the same time. So we can say, these are my own statistics. Maybe 90% of tech is good, but then there is a 10% which is very dangerous. Yes, we've seen Zoom bombings, we've seen phishers collecting information for people. We've seen, I think the government is also struggling in terms of protecting its citizens in terms of cyber security. And and there's a lot which needs to be done in terms of, it needs to be a kind of a stakeholder co-creation way of how we come up with different frameworks and guidelines of engaging in technology, even artificial intelligence, generative AI. If someone say, someone is dead, I don't have to say myself, someone is died, and you wrote an article of someone is dead, those misinformation, and you can go, and if you, generative AI can still give you the same information of, someone who is alive, and, and some people will take it as the truth. Yeah, and that's why there has to be frameworks. And also, we need also to avoid over-regulation, because, there's a lot of ICT, there is an ICT bill, practitioners bill, which as an ecosystem, the innovation ecosystem, we've opposed several times, and it keeps coming back. And we've said, let's not really think about the fees. Let's think about protecting, not really. And if you overregulate, you also stifle innovation. You just affect people. We need to leverage on these tools to grow. So there has to be a balance. And as Kenya, we cannot be the only ones coming up with these policies to protect ourselves, because even these technologies we've not built it from here. So it has to be multi-stakeholder engagement, even internationally, both globally, locally. It has to be a way of coming up with different frameworks that is kind of collaboratively. Yes, so policies needs to be worked on. As an organization, you need to be very careful. We've also been affected in one way or another, and please try as much as possible come with different procedures to protect even your computers, protect your emails, protect your any digital tool within your organization. Make sure that all those are well configured, so that you don't lose your data. You can imagine if you lose your data, especially when you are over-reliant on technology. So technology, you have to come up with different ways of how things are handled. And there is internal risk and external risk. So internal risk, I can be a risk to the organization subconsciously. I didn't mean to, but somehow so there has to be education of your employees on in terms of to understand about the different tools, to understand about the cyber attacks and all that. But it is not like you don't you just try as much as possible to protect yourself, but leverage on this tool. The good things are way better. The good side is also good, and it also brings you business. You can't avoid technology. If you are registering companies, lazima uende Huduma Center, all that, you can avoid technology. It's just protecting yourself, and it is the same thing. Just ukiwa without technology, in the society, kuna thieves, kuna bullies, kuna there are bad people. Same case when you go online, bado kuna watu wabaya. So it is just the way you protect yourself. Unasema, make sure you have nyumba kumi, make sure you have a watchman or something. The same, just make sure you also implement the same security measures.
Okay, and also just a quick question. I expect a brief answer from you. Do you think as a country, or our country has enough infrastructural support in tech, in terms of being on the private sector, and also thinking about now as a country? Do you think we have enough infrastructural support towards technology?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a yes. Maybe we've made a lot of progress. Kenya, for example, if you go to other countries, like Malawi or other countries, you will realize the difference. Even the Huduma centers that we have across the country, the fiber, the network. Yeah, I've gone to other countries, other Western countries, and I can see clearly their network is not as fast as the network that we have in Kenya. So I feel like, there's even Kenya, an average Kenya has access to the phone. Even my grandparent, has access to their phone. Yes, people who never went to school, they have access to the. So I feel like we have we have the right infrastructure. And I used to work for telecom, so I used to work with the C cables. I used to work with the wire cables, so I know that we are well connected in terms of the infrastructure. But there is a lot again which needs to be done. But I think we've made progress.
Okay, I think we have a lot of comments that are coming in. Just before I read out the comments, also now we've mentioned something because our time is much spent. We talked something about AI also.
Yeah.
Do you think it is because people fear change, and also people fear being replaced? Do you think in the near future people fear for their job? Because if we have technology, and also talk about now artificial intelligence coming in, and it means that you have to reduce your workforce. How will it affect employability that we are looking forward to create more jobs and also opportunities for young people? Do you think it will affect to a greater extent?
Absolutely, yeah.
What are the fears?
No, the technology generally will You know, if you go to China, some of the hotels unasaviwa na robots. I don't know if you've seen that. So you can imagine the waiters who are employed there, you know, and you're being served by the robot. So the technology will continue advancing, and it is going to disrupt as many jobs as possible. But the good thing is it will create a lot of way more jobs. That's why it's very important to upskill. EldoHub Academy. It's very important to upskill and make sure that you upskill, reskill, and all that. Even me, there are some things that will come tomorrow, and I need to keep learning. So I think we are in a skilling world, kind of, you know, it depends on how fast you learn. So, yeah, so I can say that there's a lot of jobs that are going to be created, a lot also will be lost. So it is just a matter of preparing yourself to benefit from these opportunities.
Okay. Also, before I read the comments, also talk about now the Magdaline, the CEO. You have a lot of work. You've been, you are in Eldoret. You cover more than 40 counties in the country. Sometimes you have projects outside the country. Talk about your operations. How do you manage all this?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a comment from online.
No, that I'm not even talking about online.
Yeah, so I think working as a team, the team has really been very useful, and also working with the right mentors. Personally, I've really gotten a lot of mentors. Like I said, I participated in Mandela Fellowship. I've also participated in Tech Women, and I got mentors from across the world that really helped me. So businesses is very important to have mentors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think in a few you'll also be preparing for your parting shot.
Okay.
Just after reading this, I think I can just go through a number of comments. We've just picked a number, but the comments are quite many. So we have the comment here from Pinches Njuguna. With great ambitions and actions, she's changed her dream to reality. Good job, Madam CEO. We respect you.
Thank
and then
you.
also we have Nancy Rotich, who is saying this is so inspirational. And then
That
also
should
we
be
have
my cousin. I don't know.
Oh, okay, that's a good one. And then also we have Odor Berry, who is
Yeah.
saying this is very inspirational. We have Chepkemoi Rose, who's saying she's saying good work, EldoHub. And also we have Honorable Bethel Ngetich. She sounds solid. I am learning a lot from you.
Thank you.
You sound solid. That's a good compliment. And also here we have Frankie Massas. He's saying how some work, Magdaline, keep soaring. Then also we have Dottie Melly, who is saying, you have changed my mindset of business. Thank you, Madam Magdaline and EldoHub family. You inspired a lot of women. Then also we have Terrell Joseph, who is saying EldoHub plays a crucial role in driving innovation, economic growth, and also technology advancement. I also have Bonnie Ches, who is saying here, I believe someday I'll be a CEO. Thanks for the inspiration.
Awesome.
And then also we have two questions here. Can she mentor someone who wants to venture into what she does?
Yeah.
This is Hedwin Lima. I think we'll respond to that.
Yes, yes.
And also we have a compliment here also with a question which says, following the show, good to see my good friend, Madam Magdaline Chepkemoi and Dandan. Keep it up. My question to my guest, to your guest tonight is, what programs do EldoHub offer? I think you had mentioned a number.
Yeah.
I think also you'll just,
I'll just give a summary.
give a summary. Then the comments are coming in, Andy. I think also will respond to some after the show. So talking about now the future of technology in the country and also in business, to be specific, where do you see 10 years to come?
Yeah, technology is very unpredictable.
Okay.
Because it keeps changing. It keeps, something new keeps happening, and people continue being innovative. It's a very open space. We've seen AI the other time comes in, and everyone is more now reliant on generative AI. Those people who are now struggling to structure their emails, structure their proposal, have more guidance through generative AI. You can just ask a question there. So there is a lot of opportunities which will come. Like I said, so many things are going to be disrupted, and that's why innovation and digital transformation has to be one of the key agenda, whether you are in technology or not. Yes, whether you are a hardware business, you have to leverage on technology on all aspects, or in digitizing your businesses. So things will change. Driverless cars in the US. We need also to move a bit faster, and I feel like Africa will leapfrog more. Because now, we'll leapfrog, we'll be more tech savvy, and we have a very energetic young people. You've seen the Kenyans on X, or rather the Kenyans on Twitter. So we have very tech savvy young people who are more energetic. They are more innovative. They are more bold. They are outspoken. They know somehow what they want. Of course, there is a lot of guidance that needs to be provided, so that there is also other aspects. And yeah, so I believe that technology is going to change a lot as we continue. It's going to disrupt a lot of things. Probably, if I can generate a whole demand letter, if someone's, I don't need maybe a lawyer, I can generate a whole document and ask them. Yes, there's a lot of things that are going to be disrupted. So we have to also, like I say, continue upskilling and reskilling. And like I say, it depends on how fast you skill, you get these skills and get to learn. And there's so many also open online, mass open online courses. Like personally, I've done a course with Stanford University online, which was purely online. I did it in 2015. And we even had groups that we did projects with people that I've never met. And we exchange knowledge, exchange peer-to-peer learning and all that. So there's a lot of opportunity, and I think skilling will be one of them. And I also wanted to respond to the guy who asked for mentorship. Limo, yes. Very much happy to share some of these success stories and see how definitely mentorship is one. I mentor a lot of people, from young people to people in business. So I'll be happy to support anyone. Yeah.
Okay. I think also in your closing remark, you'll also answer the programs.
They are the programs.
You've talked about a number. Talk about the academy now, just to answer the question. What are the qualifications and
no prior qualifications are required. If you have a powerful computer that can, we can install some of the softwares that can enable you to go and do more practice, because technology requires a lot of practice and practicing. Just you need to be an expert in what you do. So you can join our EldoHub Academy and learn the latest tools and technologies. You can also, if you already train maybe somewhere, you can leverage on our Sasakazi platform just to get some of these pathways to getting employed. If you are starting a business like Limo, if you want to start something, we can help you start and grow your business by leveraging on technology. If you are a business and you want to digitize, we can definitely help you to digitize your business. Yeah.
Now, Magdaline, we can never have enough of this. But for tonight, I think this is part one. Then we need to also prepare for part two next time. I think we will not tire to host you once more in this show. Just to our young people who are watching, and also the women who are watching outside there, just tell them something about entrepreneurship and also an advice as your parting shot for tonight.
Absolutely. So I'll be happy to join you more if you invite me. I think it's been a very, thanks for having me. It's been a very good conversation. So I think for the entrepreneurs out there, the Gen Z, start something. Start with a product, market fit. Start with the problem first of all. Do something which means a lot to you, and start with the problem. Come up with a product market fit. Once you have a product market fit, and I want to stay start and fail. Start fast and also fail fast. So because entrepreneurship, we all talk about successes and everything, but then also there is a whole a lot of things that happen behind, and you need to start. Just start. Go out there, put yourself out there. Don't be afraid. Things will go into place as you continue running your business. It becomes more clearer. I think the first step is just to start as an entrepreneur. Once you are able to start, make sure that you have a product, a product that is desirable, that someone is ready to pay for it, and make sure that you can also join EldoHub, and we can help you to grow your business, and mostly leverage on technology, because technology will continue to grow. We are in the 4th industrial revolution already, and the technology will continue advancing, and you need to really skill. You need to keep learning a new skill each and every time. So learn as, and this technology is free. We have a lot of content. We have the mass open online courses which exist. Please learn as much as you can, and please grow and be bold and ask for help and work with mentors. Thanks.
Thank you, and also thank you for creating time to be on the CEO show. It has been very insightful and also very informational. This is the essence of this show, always to learn. And remember, the parting shot that we've gotten from our guest tonight: start fast, fail fast. That is the essence of learning. For tonight, it has been an amazing show, and also to have you as part of this conversation. Until next week, we are going to have another amazing guest. Also, you don't have to miss the next and the coming and the future shows. Thanks always for your support and always keeping locked to this particular show. Remember, it is always very inspirational, very insightful, and very educational. Thanks to our supporters and also the people who have been sharing these episodes. Talk about Alfred Sargent, Lemiso Media, Gerald Bitok, and also Kalenjin Online for always sharing this particular show. We keep on learning, we keep on improving, we keep on growing. Thanks to you. Until another time, I was your host, Dan.
My name is Chepkemoi Magdaline. I'm the founder and the CEO at EldoHub. EldoHub is an organization based here in Eldoret, but we've worked in over 40 counties across the country. And we support young people, that is youth, as well as also women, to start and grow businesses by leveraging on technology. But also we want a large number of unemployed young people to benefit from the opportunities the digital economy offers. We have different pathways. We have 4 pathways that we work with. One of them is skills development. We have cybersecurity, software development, we have data science, among other opportunities that will help you to grow within the ICT industry. So there are great opportunities for tech talent. We've seen the tech professionals earning, or rather enjoying, good salary, and they can work from anywhere across the world. And that's why part of our mandate is to help you also link to job, and that speaks to our second pillar, which is the job creation. After we train you and we've given you these skills, we are able to link you up to job opportunities for experiential learning, like for example internship, apprenticeship program, among other opportunities that will help you build your portfolio and be able to grow in the tech industry. Our third pathway, or rather pillar, is the business coaching and mentorship. For those ones who are do not want to get employed, they want to self-employ themselves, or become entrepreneurs, we also have something for you through our business coaching and mentorship, where we train you on how to start and grow business by leveraging on technology. Fourth and last pillar is the digital transformation, which also speaks to our second pillar of job creation, where we support businesses to digitize their processes. Because we want our trained young people to get experiential learning while also supporting businesses to digitize.